In the vast emptiness of space, there is nothing but silence. The remnants of what was once Earth now float as a cold, lifeless asteroid field. Broken rocks drift aimlessly in the dark void, remnants of a planet that was destroyed 50,000 years ago. There are no signs of life, no green forests, no blue oceans, only dust and silence. But that silence is about to be broken. Suddenly, a faint, ghostly message echoes through the vastness of space. We have not forgotten. We are coming. The words seem to linger, hanging like a promise, or perhaps a threat. No one hears it, not yet. The message is old, ancient, but it carries the weight of a vengeance that has been brewing for millennia. The stars twinkle coldly, indifferent to the coming storm. Earth may be gone, but humanity has not been erased. Far away from the ruins of Earth, in the heart of a grand alien empire, lies the Galactic Council's capital. It is a sprawling metropolis, filled with towering skyscrapers and advanced technology. Here, the most powerful alien races in the galaxy gather, ruling with confidence and arrogance. They believe their victory over humanity so long ago was absolute. They believe Earth is nothing more than a forgotten memory, a small bump in their long history of dominance. To them, humanity is extinct, a species that posed a threat once, but no longer exists. The council members are at peace, completely unaware of the danger creeping towards them. Deep in the blackness of space, a single ship moves silently. It is a dark, sleek vessel, hidden from all detection. Even the council's most advanced sensors cannot pick it up. This ship is unlike anything the aliens have seen before. It moves with precision, cloaked in shadows, a predator stalking its prey. No one aboard the council's ships or stations can see it coming, and those who might are already too late. This mysterious ship is of human origin, but it looks nothing like the crude spacecraft humans once built long ago. It is faster, smarter, and more dangerous than anything the Galactic Council could have imagined. Inside this ship are descendants of Earth, the last survivors of a destroyed world. For 50,000 years, they have been hiding, building, waiting for the perfect moment. Now, after centuries of preparation, humanity has returned, and they are far more powerful than when the Council first destroyed them. The ship continues to slip unnoticed through space, getting closer to the Council's territory. On board, the crew is silent but determined. Each one of them knows what's at stake. They are not just soldiers. They are the last hope of humanity, carrying the weight of a mission that has been passed down through generations. Their ancestors had seen Earth burn, had felt the pain of knowing their home was lost forever. But now, the time for hiding is over. As the ship moves closer, the tension builds. The Galactic Council, still celebrating their victory from 50,000 years ago, has no idea what's coming. They do not realize that the very humans they believe to be extinct have spent millennia advancing their technology, mastering new forms of warfare, and waiting for this moment. The Council's arrogance blinds them. They believe no threat can challenge their dominance. But they are wrong. The humans are coming for revenge, and they will stop at nothing to bring the Council to its knees. The ship glides through space, like a shadow creeping closer to its target. Inside, the crew prepares for what lies ahead. Commander Rin Takara, the leader of this mission, stares out into the endless void, his mind filled with thoughts of Earth and the billions of lives lost. His ancestors fought to defend their planet, but they were overwhelmed by the superior forces of the Galactic Council. Now, he and his crew will finish what they started. As they approach the outer edge of the Council's territory, the ship activates its cloaking devices, becoming completely invisible to any nearby sensors. The Council's patrols pass by, unaware of the human vessel slipping past them. It is a deadly game of cat and mouse, and the humans are playing to win. Rin's heart pounds in his chest as he thinks about what's to come. He knows the odds are against them. The Galactic Council is vast, powerful, and has ruled the galaxy uncontested for thousands of years. But Rin is not afraid. He knows the Council's weakness, their arrogance, They believe themselves to be invincible, untouchable, but they have forgotten one simple truth. Humans never forget, and they never forgive. The moment of reckoning is near. The crew is ready, their weapons primed, their minds focused. They are about to do what many believed impossible, strike back against the greatest power in the galaxy. The ship moves ever closer to the heart of the alien empire, and with it, the promise of revenge draws near. The Galactic Council will soon learn the hard way that Earth may be gone, but humanity lives on. The storm is coming, and nothing can stop it now. As the darkness of space envelops the sleek human flagship Retribution, Commander Rin Takara stands on the bridge, gazing at the vast expanse before him. His piercing eyes reflect a steely determination forged through years of hardship and loss. Rin is not just a soldier. He is a legacy, a torchbearer of humanity's enduring spirit. His ancestors were among the last survivors of Earth, the once thriving blue planet that had been mercilessly erased by the Galactic Council. Rin knows the weight of history that rests upon his shoulders, and he feels the burden deeply. Rin's childhood was filled with stories passed down from his grandparents, tales of a vibrant Earth filled with life, laughter, and beauty. But those stories were quickly overshadowed by the horror of the destruction. He remembers sitting by the fire as a child, listening wide-eyed as his grandfather recounted the day the skies darkened and alien ships descended like vultures, mercilessly obliterating everything that humanity held dear. Those stories were not just tales. They were a stark reminder of what humanity had lost. They filled Rin with a sense of trauma that never left him, a burning rage that fueled his resolve to fight back against the tyranny that took everything away from his people. Now, as commander of the Retribution, Rin is more than just a symbol of revenge. He embodies justice. He knows that his mission is critical, not only for himself, but for all of humanity. This mission is about reclaiming what was stolen, and it carries with it the hopes and dreams of millions who suffered under the Council's oppression. Rin's heart beats for those who can no longer fight, for those who cannot tell their own stories. He feels their pain, their anger, and their desperation. Each heartbeat reminds him of the ghosts of the past, whispering their stories into his ears, urging him to act. As he stands on the bridge, Rin holds a small relic in his hand, a piece of charred stone from the ruins of Earth's crust. It is a reminder of his home, a tangible connection to the world that once was. The stone is cold and rough, but it carries the warmth of memories long gone. Rin traces the lines and cracks on its surface, feeling a mixture of sorrow and rage. This relic represents everything that was lost: families torn apart, cultures erased, and futures stolen. It is a reminder of the price of war and the cost of survival. The emotional weight of this moment presses heavily on him, and he takes a deep breath, reminding himself of the purpose behind their mission. His team, a group of skilled and fiercely loyal soldiers, stands ready at their stations. They are fully aware of the dangers that lie ahead, and they trust Rin to lead them through the storm. Each of them carries their own burdens, their own stories of loss, and their own reasons for fighting. They are not just soldiers. They are survivors, fighters for a future that has been denied to them for far too long. Rin understands their pain, and it binds them together as a family, united in their quest for justice. As Rin looks at his crew, he sees the determination etched on their faces. They are all in this together, sharing a common goal that fuels their resolve. He knows that their mission is not just a covert operation. It is a declaration of war against the Galactic Council, a message that humanity is back and ready to fight for its place in the galaxy. Rin's heart swells with pride for his team, but he also feels the weight of responsibility. He cannot fail them. As the Retribution silently glides through the void, Rin's mind races with plans and strategies. They are heading to the heart of the Council's empire, where danger lurks at every turn. This is not just a simple warning. It is a confrontation with the very beings who destroyed his world. Rin knows they will be met with fierce resistance, but he also knows that they have the element of surprise on their side. They have spent years preparing for this moment, honing their skills, and developing advanced technologies to give them an edge. Rin's gaze shifts to the vast star field outside the ship. He can almost see the shadows of his ancestors watching over him, urging him forward. He whispers a silent promise to them, vowing to avenge their suffering and honor their memory. This mission is for them, for everyone who lost their lives, and for every dream that was shattered. The crew gathers around Rin as he prepares to address them. They know that this moment is crucial. "Listen up, everyone," he says, his voice steady and commanding. "We have a dangerous mission ahead of us, and we need to be prepared for anything. We are not just fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for all of humanity. This is our chance to show the Galactic Council that we are back and stronger than ever. We will not back down. We will deliver our message loud and clear." A collective determination fills the air, each member of the crew nodding in agreement. They are ready to face whatever comes their way. Rin knows that the road ahead will be filled with challenges, but he also knows they have the strength to overcome them. Together, they will rise against the forces that seek to extinguish their light. With a final look at the relic in his hand, Rin feels a sense of calm wash over him. The time for action is now. He takes a deep breath, steadies his resolve, and prepares to lead his crew into the unknown. This is the moment they have all been waiting for, and nothing will stand in their way. As they approach the Council's territory, Rin feels the fire of determination burn brighter than ever. They are not just humans. They are warriors, and they will reclaim their rightful place in the galaxy. In the darkness of space, memories flicker like distant stars, illuminating the path that humanity has traveled. The Galactic Council believed they had wiped out Earth and its inhabitants forever, but they were wrong. In the aftermath of destruction, small groups of humans managed to escape to distant worlds, far from the reach of the Council's wrath. These survivors were resilient, resourceful, and determined to keep the flame of humanity alive. As the Council celebrated their victory, humanity scattered like seeds across the galaxy. They found refuge on inhospitable planets, where life was harsh and survival was a daily struggle. In these remote colonies, people banded together, sharing knowledge and resources to endure the grim reality of their new existence. They built makeshift communities, turning abandoned structures into homes and schools. With each passing year, they adapted to their surroundings, forging a new identity far from the ashes of Earth. Flashbacks reveal the hardships these survivors faced. There were days of hunger and despair, nights filled with fear as alien ships roamed the skies. But in those shadows, hope began to grow. The survivors were not just fighting to survive. They were determined to thrive. Over the course of 50,000 years, they learned to harness the power of technology. They studied the remnants of their ancestors' creations, delving into the depths of robotics, artificial intelligence, and cloaking devices. Slowly but surely, humanity transformed. They became masters of technology, developing new forms of warfare that the Council could not have anticipated. With stealth technology perfected, their ships could slip through the cracks of the galaxy, invisible to the watchful eyes of their enemies. Advanced AI guided their operations, analyzing data, making real-time decisions, and coordinating attacks with precision. These advancements made the humans an unstoppable force, capable of striking back against the Council's tyranny. Back on the Retribution, Commander Rin Takara stands before his team, preparing them for the mission that will change everything. He knows the odds are stacked against them. Even with their technological advancements, they are still outnumbered by the vast fleet of the Galactic Council. But Rin refuses to let fear take hold. He has spent years watching, learning, and preparing for this moment. They may be the underdogs in this fight, but they have something that the Council has lost: the element of surprise. Listen up, everyone. Rin begins, his voice steady and clear. The Galactic Council has no idea we're coming. They think they've eliminated humanity for good, but they're wrong. We have spent generations building our strength in the shadows. "We are ready for this fight." His words ignite a fire in the hearts of his crew. They can feel the weight of their ancestors' sacrifices behind them. The Council may have destroyed Earth, but humanity's spirit has never been extinguished. Rin's voice carries the hopes of those who fought to survive, and they are ready to reclaim their place in the galaxy. As he continues to brief his team, the tension in the room builds. Rin lays out their plan. They will infiltrate the Council's territory, using their cloaking devices to remain undetected. Their advanced AI will guide them through the dangers that lie ahead, allowing them to strike when the Council least expects it. Rin emphasizes that their mission is not just about revenge. It's about delivering a message to the galaxy that humanity is still here, stronger than ever. The crew absorbs Rin's words, each member understanding their role in this critical mission. They are ready to fight, to prove that the underdog can rise against even the mightiest of foes. The Council's arrogance will be their downfall. Rin knows this battle will not be easy, but he believes in the strength of his team. They have faced unimaginable odds before, and now they stand united with a common purpose. As Rin's briefing concludes, he encourages everyone to share their stories. Each crew member opens up about their own struggles, the losses they have endured, and the dreams they hold for the future. These stories weave a tapestry of resilience and determination, reminding them that they are not just fighting for themselves, they are fighting for all of humanity. Amidst the emotional weight of their shared history, Rin feels a sense of pride wash over him. They may be outnumbered, but they are not outmatched. Humanity has learned to adapt, to overcome, and to fight back. The Galactic Council may have been powerful, but they have also been blind to the reality unfolding around them. As the Retribution approaches the Council's territory, the atmosphere is electric with anticipation. Rin looks out into the stars, his heart pounding with the knowledge of what lies ahead. He knows that the moment of reckoning is near. The Council will soon understand the consequences of their actions. They will learn that humanity has risen from the ashes, ready to reclaim their rightful place in the galaxy. In that moment, Rin feels a connection to his ancestors, their voices echoing in his mind, urging him to press forward. He is not just a commander. He is a beacon of hope for all those who came before him and all those who will come after. Rin's heart swells with determination. This is their time. They will show the galaxy what it means to be human, to rise against oppression, and to fight for justice. As the crew prepares for the battle ahead, Rin stands firm, ready to lead them into the unknown. This underdog story is just beginning, and together, they will prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. The Galactic Council will never see them coming. The atmosphere aboard the Retribution crackled with anticipation as Commander Rin Takara and his crew drew closer to the Galactic Council's territory. Each crew member was focused, knowing that the moment they had trained for was finally here. The ship's engines hummed softly, but the tension in the air was palpable. They were ready to show the galaxy that humanity had returned, but they knew they were not alone. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship, shattering the tense silence. Rin's heart raced as he rushed to the command console, eyes fixed on the radar. "What's happening?" he demanded, scanning the screen. "Sir, we have multiple alien ships approaching," shouted one of the crew members. Rin's mind raced as he realized they had encountered an alien patrol, a group of fighters from the Council, and they were about to engage in battle. "Prepare for combat," Rin commanded, his voice steady despite the adrenaline surging through him. "Activate cloaking devices. We need to outmaneuver them." The crew sprang into action, their training kicking in as they initiated their defensive protocols. The Retribution shimmered as its cloaking technology activated, rendering it nearly invisible to the alien ships. However, the enemy had already locked onto their position, and Rin knew they needed to act fast. As the first alien fighters appeared on their screens, Rin felt a rush of excitement mixed with fear. This was the first real confrontation between humans and the aliens who had destroyed their home 50,000 years ago. It was a moment that would define them, a chance to reclaim their dignity and honor their fallen ancestors. The alien fighters descended in a chaotic swarm, darting through the void like angry hornets. Bright streaks of laser fire erupted from their ships, illuminating the dark expanse of space. Rin clenched his fists, focused on the task at hand. All hands, engage the enemy. Target their engines. Take them down. With a flick of his wrist, he activated the Retribution's weapon systems. The ship responded with a shudder, and the crew worked in unison, their training evident in the seamless way they operated the controls. Explosions lit up the darkness as Rin's crew unleashed their firepower, sending a volley of missiles toward the enemy fighters. The battle was brutal. Rin watched as the sleek human ships danced through the chaos, their advanced AI guiding them with remarkable precision. The cloaking technology worked to their advantage, allowing them to strike from unexpected angles. Each laser blast cut through the darkness, leaving trails of fiery destruction in their wake. The vivid visual of the battle was electrifying, and Rin felt the adrenaline rush as he navigated through the turmoil. But as the fight raged on, the reality of war began to set in. The aliens retaliated fiercely, firing back with precision and fury. The Retribution shook violently as enemy blasts rocked the ship. Rin gritted his teeth, pushing through the discomfort. He could feel the weight of his crew's lives resting on his shoulders, and he was determined to lead them to victory. In the midst of the chaos, Rin's heart dropped when he saw a familiar ship caught in the crossfire. "Bonner, get out of there," he shouted, his voice filled with urgency. Bonner, one of Rin's closest comrades and a skilled pilot, was maneuvering his fighter in a tight dogfight, trying to evade incoming fire, but the odds were against him. The moment felt like it stretched on forever as Rin watched helplessly. A blast of green laser fire surged toward Bonner's ship, and Rin's stomach dropped. "No," he screamed, but it was too late. The blast struck true, and Bonner's ship erupted in a brilliant explosion, sending debris flying into the void. Rin felt a wave of despair wash over him, crashing against the determination that had fueled him moments before. Bonner was gone, just like that. The weight of every life lost in this mission hit him like a ton of bricks. This was not just a battle for revenge. It was a battle for their very existence, and now one of his closest friends was gone. The emotional loss struck deep, leaving Rin momentarily shaken. He closed his eyes for a brief second, grappling with the pain that surged through him. He could hear the echoes of Bonner's laughter, memories of their friendship flooding his mind. They had fought side by side, dreaming of this moment, and now that dream felt hollow. But as Rin opened his eyes, he saw the faces of his crew, their expressions reflecting his own grief. They were all feeling the loss, but Rin knew they had to keep fighting. "We can't give up," he shouted, his voice cutting through the pain. "Bonner would want us to keep pushing forward. For him. For all of us." The crew rallied around Rin's words, their determination rekindled. They fought harder, pushing through the emotional turmoil to honor Bonner's memory. Each shot fired was a tribute, each maneuver a testament to their resilience. The tide of battle shifted as the humans, fueled by their grief and anger, fought back with newfound vigor. Rin led his crew through the fray, determination igniting their spirits as they fought against overwhelming odds. The Retribution danced through the chaos, targeting enemy ships with a fierce intensity. Together, they unleashed a storm of firepower, striking back at the Council's forces with every ounce of strength they had. As the last of the alien fighters fell to their assault, Ren took a moment to breathe, surveying the wreckage surrounding them. The battle was won, but the cost weighed heavily on him. They had achieved a victory, but it came at a price. He glanced at the empty seat where Bonner once sat, a hollow ache in his chest. Ren knew this was just the beginning of a long fight, and they would face many more losses along the way. But as he looked at his crew, he felt a sense of unity among them. They were not just fighting for revenge. They were fighting for each other, for their fallen comrades, and for the future of humanity. The retribution drifted through the debris of the battle, a symbol of hope and resilience. Rin's heart burned with determination as they prepared for the next stage of their mission. The Galactic Council may have taken so much from them, but they would not take away their spirit. Humanity was back, and they would reclaim their place in the galaxy, no matter the cost. With the echoes of battle still ringing in his ears, Commander Rin Takara stared out at the sprawling alien metropolis that was the Galactic Council's homeworld. His heart raced as the retribution glided silently through the darkness, cloaked and undetected. They had successfully infiltrated the Council's defenses, a feat that seemed impossible only a few days ago. The advanced cloaking technology and superior tactics of Rin's fleet had given them the element of surprise, and now they were poised to strike at the heart of their enemy. The bustling city below was a stark contrast to the cold, empty void of space. Neon lights flickered like distant stars, and towering structures reached high into the sky, a testament to the Council's power. But within that power lay chaos. Rin could see the alien soldiers moving about, still reeling from the unexpected attack during the space battle. Confusion was evident in their ranks, a weakness Rin knew they could exploit. "Prepare to disembark," Rin ordered, his voice steady, though his heart raced with adrenaline. The crew moved quickly, their faces a mix of determination and apprehension. This was it, the moment they had been waiting for. They had come to bring down the Council, to avenge their ancestors, and to reclaim their place in the galaxy. But as they prepared to step onto alien soil, the weight of what they were about to do settled heavily on Rin's shoulders. As the airlock hissed open, Rin took a deep breath, steeling himself for what lay ahead. They had trained for this moment, but now that they were here, doubt crept in. What if they failed? What if the sacrifices they had already made were in vain? He glanced at his team, each member focused and ready, and felt a surge of resolve. They had already fought against overwhelming odds, and they could do it again. "Remember why we're here," Rin said, raising his voice above the sound of rushing air. "This is not just about revenge. It's about justice for our people, for our ancestors who suffered at the hands of the Council. We're doing this for everyone who can't fight for themselves." His words ignited a fire in the hearts of his crew. They had all lost loved ones, had all felt the pain of their lost home. They understood the stakes. Rin led the way as they stepped into the alien city, their cloaked forms blending into the chaos of the streets. The team moved quickly, slipping through alleyways and side streets, avoiding the main thoroughfares where the Council's soldiers were still trying to regain control. Rin had a plan, a strategy that relied on stealth and cunning. They needed to access the central hub of the Council's operations, a heavily fortified building in the heart of the city. But getting there wouldn't be easy. As they approached the target location, Rin felt a sense of urgency. Time was against them, and they needed to act fast. They reached a nondescript building that served as their entrance point. Rin glanced back at his team, the tension visible on their faces. He knew that one wrong move could spell disaster. "All right, let's get to work," Rin said, tapping into his training and focusing on the task at hand. They split into smaller groups, each tasked with hacking into the Council's systems and disabling their defenses. The air was thick with anticipation as they moved quietly, their hearts pounding in their chests. As Rin worked on the control panel, his mind wandered back to his ancestors and the stories he had heard growing up. The tales of the destruction of Earth, of the pain and loss that followed, fueled his determination. He could almost hear their voices urging him on, reminding him of the sacrifices made for the future of humanity. But even as he immersed himself in his work, doubt began to creep in. What if their mission failed? What if billions of lives were lost because he hesitated? The emotional weight of his responsibility threatened to overwhelm him. He closed his eyes for a moment, breathing deeply. He had to push those thoughts aside. Failure was not an option. Suddenly, an alarm blared through the building, jolting Rin from his thoughts. "They've detected us," one of his crew members shouted, panic rising in their voices. Ren's heart raced as he realized the council had caught on to their plan. The sense of urgency intensified as they rushed to complete their tasks. "Stay focused. We can do this," Ren shouted, urging his team to work faster. The stakes had just risen dramatically, and they needed to act before it was too late. As the crew hacked into the alien systems, they encountered multiple layers of security, each more complex than the last. Ren's fingers danced over the controls, adrenaline fueling his concentration. He could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on him, and he pushed harder, desperate to break through the defenses. With each passing second, the tension mounted. They were running out of time, and the Council's forces would soon be upon them. Ren recalled the destruction of Earth, the suffering that had followed, and the ancestors who had fought and died for a chance at survival. That memory fueled his determination as he finally breached the last line of defense. "We're in," he exclaimed, relief flooding through him as the screen displayed access to the Council's mainframe. "Now let's take them down." The crew erupted in cheers, but Ren quickly reminded them that their work was far from over. They had to disable the Council's defense systems and send a message to the entire galaxy, one that would echo through the ages. He began inputting commands, sending waves of disruption through the Council's systems, crippling their operations. As chaos erupted outside, Ren's focus sharpened. He could hear the sounds of alien soldiers rushing through the streets, but they couldn't afford to stop now. With each successful command, the Council's control weakened, and the prospect of victory grew closer. Ren felt the emotional weight of the mission still heavy on his heart, but with every moment they pushed forward, he was reminded of the lives at stake. Billions of beings across the galaxy would soon learn the truth. Humanity had returned, and they were not going to back down. As the screens flickered with chaotic data, Ren and his crew worked tirelessly, hearts racing with the thrill of impending victory. They were so close to achieving what had seemed impossible. Their sacrifice would not be in vain. The Council would pay for what they had done, and humanity would rise from the ashes once more. Together, they were ready to change the fate of the galaxy forever. As the retribution erupted into chaos, Commander Rin Takara felt the surge of adrenaline course through him. They had successfully infiltrated the heart of the Galactic Council, but now was the moment that would define their struggle for justice. The moment they had trained for was finally here, a massive showdown against the very beings who had sought to extinguish humanity. Panic rippled through the Council as they scrambled to respond to the unexpected threat. Their high-tech security systems had been compromised, leaving them vulnerable and exposed. Ren could see the fear etched on the faces of the Council members as they realized who was invading their stronghold. For the first time in 50,000 years, humanity had returned, and this time they were not coming in peace. "Prepare for battle," Ren shouted to his team, determination blazing in his eyes. The crew of the Retribution quickly armed themselves, readying their weapons for the impending confrontation. Outside the Council chambers, chaos erupted as alien soldiers rushed to defend their territory. Ren knew this was their chance to strike, and he wasn't about to waste it. As they charged into the Council chambers, the scene was nothing short of chaotic. Flashes of energy weapons illuminated the darkened space, casting eerie shadows against the walls. Ren led the charge, his heart pounding as he engaged the first alien soldier he encountered. The fight was visceral, a fierce clash of wills as he grappled with the elite warrior, each movement a testament to their training and resolve. Ren's team fought fiercely, their advanced AI systems providing them with a tactical advantage. The humans moved as one, coordinating their attacks with precision. As they engaged the alien soldiers in close-quarters combat, the sounds of battle filled the air. Shouts, grunts, and the crackling of energy blasts punctuated the chaos. In the middle of the fight, Ren's eyes locked onto a familiar figure, the head general of the Galactic Council, the very being who had led the assault on Earth all those years ago. The general stood tall, his alien features twisted into a snarl as he surveyed the chaos. Ren felt a wave of rage wash over him. This was the moment he had longed for, the chance to confront the being responsible for so much suffering. The two warriors charged at each other, and their fight began. Rin was fueled by the memories of his ancestors, the destruction of Earth, and the countless lives lost. He could feel the weight of history bearing down on him as he faced his enemy. The clash of their weapons echoed through the chamber, each strike carrying the burden of revenge and justice. As they battled, Rin's internal monologue reflected the larger theme of good versus evil. He knew that humanity had been wronged, but now they were reclaiming their rightful place in the universe. This was not just a fight for survival. It was a battle for justice, for honor, and for the legacy of those who had come before him. The general fought fiercely, his movements sharp and calculated. But Rin matched his intensity, recalling every lesson learned and every moment spent training for this fight. With each exchange, he felt the tide of justice turning in his favor. The general's arrogance blinded him to the reality of humanity's advancements, and Rin seized that opportunity. Around them, the battle raged on, humans and aliens locked in a fierce struggle. Rin could see his team fighting valiantly, taking down alien soldiers with expert precision. Their determination was palpable, their resolve unyielding. Each victory for humanity felt like a small step toward reclaiming their past, toward avenging the wrongs that had been done. With a final surge of energy, Rin delivered a powerful blow to the general, sending him staggering backward. The alien snarled in anger, regaining his composure, but Rin was relentless. "You took everything from us," he shouted, the fury of generations behind his voice. "Now it's time for justice." The general recovered, eyes burning with hatred. "You think you can defeat me? You are nothing but a relic of the past." He spat, lunging forward for another attack. Rin sidestepped, channeling all his training and rage into a single decisive strike. As he struck the general down, a wave of triumph surged through him. The fight was far from over, but defeating the general symbolized a turning point in their struggle. It was a moment of justice, of retribution. With the general defeated, Rin turned to see how the battle was unfolding around him. His team had gained the upper hand, but they still had work to do. The council members were retreating, realizing their defeat was inevitable. Rin felt a sense of urgency. They had to finish this once and for all. "Let's secure the council chambers," he commanded, rallying his team. "We need to make sure they cannot regroup." Together, they'd pressed forward, clearing the chambers of remaining soldiers and securing their position. As they fought, Rin couldn't shake the feeling of righteousness that coursed through him. Every strike, every decision they made was fueled by the desire for justice, not just for themselves, but for all those who had suffered at the hands of the Galactic Council. In the aftermath of the battle, Rin stood among his crew, their faces marked with fatigue and determination. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious. The feeling of triumph washed over him as he looked around the chamber, the signs of their victory evident in the wreckage left behind. This was the dawn of a new era for humanity. They had returned to the galaxy, not as victims, but as warriors. Rin could feel the pride swelling within him, knowing they had delivered a powerful message. Humanity would not be forgotten, and they would fight for their place among the stars. As they prepared to send a message to the galaxy, Rin looked around at his crew, their expressions a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. They had achieved what many thought impossible, and they would continue to fight for their future. Together, they were ready to change the course of history and reclaim their legacy. As the dust settled in the aftermath of the fierce battle, Commander Rin Takara stood amidst the wreckage of the Galactic Council's once mighty power structure. The chaos around him was almost surreal. The Council had been a symbol of oppression for thousands of years, and now their reign had come to a spectacular end. Rin felt a surge of triumph as he realized the magnitude of their victory. The long shadows of defeat that had haunted humanity for millennia were finally lifting, replaced by the brilliant light of hope and resurgence. He delivered the final blow himself. With precision and determination, Rin activated the last weapon in their arsenal, a powerful pulse that tore through the heart of the Council's mainframe. The energy surge, a blinding light illuminating the chamber. Moments later, the Council's command center erupted in a cataclysmic explosion, a symbolic representation of their crumbling empire. Alien soldiers who had once believed in their supremacy now fled in terror, their arrogance shattered. As the shockwaves rippled through the galaxy, Rin knew that the message would be clear: humanity was back. They had risen from the ashes of their destroyed homeworld, stronger and smarter than ever before. The cries of victory echoed throughout the alien city, and Rin could see the expressions of disbelief on the faces of those who had watched the Council's downfall. The galaxy was witnessing the resurgence of a race that had been fought lost, and it would never look at humanity the same way again. Yet, as the celebrations began among his team, Rin felt a heaviness in his heart. He turned away from the chaos, seeking a moment of solitude amidst the devastation. The smoke hung thick in the air, a bitter reminder of the cost of their triumph. Rin remembered his fallen comrades, especially Bonner, who had fought valiantly beside him. Bonner's laughter and fierce spirit came flooding back, making the victory feel hollow. Rin had always known that freedom came at a price, but standing among the rubble of the Council's headquarters, that price felt painfully high. He walked through the remains of the Council chambers, each step resonating with memories of the lives lost in the struggle for justice. The faces of those he had fought alongside flashed before his eyes, courageous individuals who had risked everything for a brighter future. Rin understood that this victory, while hard-earned, was bittersweet. They had dismantled a tyrannical regime, but the scars of war would linger long after the dust had settled. As the cheers of his crew echoed in the distance, Rin took a deep breath, grounding himself in the reality of what they had accomplished. They had shattered the chains of oppression, but he couldn't shake the feeling that their journey was just beginning. There would be more challenges ahead, more battles to fight against remnants of the Council, and other threats that lurked in the shadows of the galaxy. With resolve building within him, Rin made his way back to the Central Command. His team had gathered, faces illuminated with triumph and relief. They were a family forged in the fires of conflict, united by a shared purpose. As they looked to him for guidance, Rin knew he had to inspire them to embrace their victory, while also acknowledging the pain they had endured. Today, Rin began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. We have done what many thought impossible. We have taken down a regime that sought to erase us from existence. But let us not forget the sacrifices that have brought us here. Let us remember Bonner and all our comrades who fought and fell. They believed in this cause, in our future. The crew listened intently, the weight of his words sinking in. Rin continued, we must carry their legacy forward. We are not just fighters, we are defenders of our humanity. Our victory today is not just about revenge. It is about justice, freedom, and ensuring that no one else has to endure what we have suffered. We are humanity. We have risen, and we will not falter. His words struck a chord, igniting a fire within his crew. They were not just warriors. They were a symbol of resilience. Rin could see the determination in their eyes, the commitment to forge a new path for humanity. Together, they could rebuild, reclaiming their rightful place in the galaxy. As the last remnants of the Council's reign crumbled around them, Rin moved to the communications console. He took a moment to gather his thoughts, knowing that this was a crucial moment not just for them, but for all of humanity. He had to send a message that would resonate throughout the stars. With a steady hand, he activated the transmitter. His voice echoed across the galaxy, a chilling declaration that would be remembered for generations. We are humanity. We never forget, and we never forgive. His words hung in the air like a vow, a promise to all who had suffered at the hands of their oppressors. The finality of his statement left no room for doubt. It was a warning to anyone who might think to challenge them again. As the transmission ended, Rin turned back to his crew. They were staring at him, awe and determination reflected in their eyes. This was a moment that would define them, a point in history that would shape the future. They had not only reclaimed their past, they had set the stage for a new era of humanity, a future filled with hope, courage, and strength. With the Council defeated and the galaxy now aware of humanity's resurgence, Ren felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that more battles awaited them, but together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. United in their mission, they would ensure that the legacy of those who had fallen would never be forgotten. As the crew prepared to leave the ruined Council headquarters, Ren looked out at the stars, each one a reminder of the endless possibilities that awaited them. They were no longer the hunted, they were the hunters. The galaxy was theirs to explore, and their journey was only just beginning.